a, a, a conversation that Jesus started with his apostles when he was about leaving the earth. When he told them in John chapter 16 verse 7, he said, "Nevertheless, I tell you the truth, it is expedient for you that I go away. For if I go not away, the Comforter will not come unto you. But if I depart, I will send him unto you." And so these are a group of people that came at a point in time. They were just doing their things their own way. And Jesus came and began to do those things. And people that were insignificant began to have some level of relevance. People began to identify them here and there. Fishermen, people that are in the society, you cannot classify them as people that have a voice. But before you know it, they began to have a voice by virtue of the things that Jesus was doing with them. And whenever any issue arose, he provided the solution. He walks into situations and you see the sick, he heals them. You see the deaf, they hear. You see the dumb. They organize programs and they have limited funds, yet the needs are met. He multiplies bread and fish to feed 5,000. The other one time 4,000. Things are just happening. And then he begins to tell them that it is expedient that he leaves, because if he doesn't leave, the Comforter will not come. So I went to Meta AI to check the meaning of expedient. It tells me that expedient refers to something that is convenient, serving to facilitate or simplify a process. Something that is practical, focused on achieving a goal or solving a problem. Efficient, achieving maximum productivity with minimum waste. Opportune, timely and well suited to a particular situation. Pragmatic, dealing with things in a practical rather than idealistic way. So Jesus began to tell them that it is expedient, that it is important, it is practical, it will be more efficient for me to leave so that the Comforter can come. And then as you begin to think about it, you see Jesus, for him to do anything, he needs to be in a particular location. But then when he leaves and the Comforter comes, he is deposited inside each of us. And so the Bible says that we are gods. And what does it mean that we are gods? That we have the same ability that is in Jesus to do whatever thing that we set to achieve. Yesterday, I went to Harvesters for my village meeting. And then I went earlier in the day. So when I was driving up, the manager, he saw me outside, we chatted, and then he started walking off. I was moving, somebody blocked me, I had to wait for a while. And then after some time, I caught up with him. And then he now flagged me down. He said, "Sir, are you going to Agoda?" I said, "Yes." So he entered. He said, that time I was talking with you, something was telling me to ask you if you are going to Agoda. And then I said, let me not disturb this man. But then as I saw you coming, that something started, talk to this man, otherwise you go use leg to go. So that's why I flagged you down. I told him that something is the Spirit of God that is inside us, and it will be good for him to identify it, so that whenever that something begins to talk to him, he can listen. He said, Oga, I've had this experience many times. So he said, I used to manage one hotel somewhere in Surulere here. He said, that morning I woke up and something was telling me not to go to work. I said, but how can I not go to work? It will be a form of laziness. He said, Oga, that something kept telling me not to go and I refused. He said, Oga, you know what happened? As I walked into the hotel that morning, I did not know that armed robbers were operating and they shot me. He said, it was God that saved me, that I did not die. He said, this thing I'm telling you happened about 20 years ago. Now, this same thing we call something is inside us. It's the Spirit of God inside each of us, that if we begin to listen to that voice, He will begin to direct our our steps. On Friday, when I was outside, I saw Chidebere. Collins was entering the car. I asked Lawrence, where are you guys going? He said, we are going to see Bill. I said, okay. Later when he came back, he came to the office and we were talking. He said that the man called and said that we should come for a meeting. And then he began to give me a report of what happened. He said we should put for this, blah, blah, blah. And I smiled. I said, Lawrence, you remember that it was last year was the first time I took a shot of one of their products. And I sent it to you. I said, Lawrence, we need to go to this place. And that this year I have done that twice. Lawrence, we need to go to this place. Because I finished taking my bath, come out from the toilet. There's that pack that my wife bought, one of their air fresheners. It's just by the fan. And as I come out, I look at it, it will seem as if that thing is talking to me. Over a period of time, I took a shot. I said, Lawrence, we have something is here for us. And that day when he said it, I said, Lawrence, you know, since last year I have been telling you, we need to go to this organization. We need to go to this organization. As a businessman or as a career person, opportunities are all around you. But because you are not observant, you are not seeing them. Another case in point is the point specialist. I was driving by that street and I saw the building. I saw the signage and everything. Some months down the line, I was passing by. I found out that they have changed the facade, added some things. Another time I was passing, I saw they have added some touch. And I began to process it. That this man that is changing this facade, he is changing. He has done the first one, he feels is not good enough. Does the second one, he feels is not good enough. Does the third one. That this man is saying something. He is positioning this thing for people to see, that as you pass. I say, if somebody that is spending money doing this thing, he really wants this his business to have some level of visibility. And that if we go there, the man will give us attention. And we went there over a period of time. That's how we are handling their account. So you look around you, things are talking to you, giving you clues, giving you clues, giving you clues, giving you clues. But because most time people, their mind are crowded with all the wahala, this one, they don't see these things. And that's why we have it in Isaiah chapter 42. It says, and I will bring the blind by a way that they know not. I will lead them in paths that they have not known. I will make darkness light before them and crooked things straight. These things will I do unto them and not forsake them. He said, they shall be turned back, they shall be greatly ashamed that trust in graven images, that say to the molten images, you are our God. Verse 18, very important. He said, hear you deaf, and look you blind that you may see. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect? Being perfect means that somebody that believes he knows everything. And blind as the lost servant. He says, see many things, but thou observest not. Opening the ears, but he heareth not. The Lord is well pleased for his righteous sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. But if you come down to verse 20, he says, see many things, but thou observest not. Opening the ears, but he heareth not. So when I read that, I realized that there's a difference between seeing and observing. I went to Meta AI to check the meaning. I said, let me find the difference between seeing and observing. He says, seeing and observing are two related but distinct processes. Seeing refers to the physical act of perceiving light or color, involved merely noticing something is present, often passive and superficial, focuses on the physical appearance. Observing involves actively paying attention to details, requires focus, concentration and engagement, goes beyond mere physical appearance, aims to understand, interpret and make sense of what is seen. He says, while seeing is a basic sensory function, Observing is a more thoughtful and intentional process that seeks to gain insight or understanding. And that's why the Lord is saying, who is as blind as my messenger, seeing many things, but not observing them. So in your immediate environment, there are opportunities that you pass on a daily basis, that if you take a little time to observe them, you will know that there is something inside this. And so as a business, you can never say there's a downturn, because opportunities are everywhere for us to see. Opportunities are there everywhere. So you find out that everywhere opportunities abound. Opportunities abound. Poverty and lack is a question of laziness. Laziness of the mind. Not sitting down, thinking, looking at things. Why is this thing happening this way? Why? Because there are patterns everywhere. And so I wake up and I'll come past through this office. My heart, something will shake. This thing, you need to do this place better. You need to do this place better. And then for me to do it better, I brought in my friend that is an architect, for him to add his skills to make it better. You know? And then on Saturday, on that Friday, I was talking with Lawrence. He said that after the man was asking where is the office, and he explained to him, and the man said, one day I'll stop by your office. Immediately something jumped in my heart. He said, you see why I've been telling you to do this place very well? Because clients are going to come. And when people walk into your office, how they perceive you will determine how they position you in their mind. And that is why you walk into some places, you look around, you sigh. You walk into some places, you say, wow. So if they are talking to you that we can do this, we can do this, we can do this, you look around. You say, somebody that took time to do this has something to offer. And that brings me to our core values: professionalism, excellence, reliability, uniqueness, timeliness. That if we inculcate this value system in everything that we do, the sky is just the beginning. And so in that seat where you are seated, there are opportunities. I am telling you. In that system you are pressing, there are opportunities. And that's why Jesus went to the fig tree and he cursed the fig tree, because he said, let no man eat fruit of you. Because the fig tree was created to produce fruit for man to eat. So when he got there, the fig tree, he said, look, you're useless, so there's no point allowing you here to occupy space. Let no man eat of you. We also talk about the parable of the talent. So God is looking at productivity. So where you are seated, you need to add value. I have this watch that I am wearing. I have better watches. There's even one beautiful one that somebody gave to me and my wife as Christmas gift. Gold plated. I like the watch. As a matter of fact, I wear it when I want to go for special occasions. But here I am every day wearing this watch. The leather is rubber. Why am I wearing it? Because of the value. It shows me time. I can program my steps. Set goals that I want to be doing 10,000 steps every day, and I am monitoring it. It is monitoring my heartbeat, that I can check it. I can monitor my sleep. That when I wake up, I will check how did I sleep last night. It will interpret it. You had so hours of light sleep. You had so hours of deep sleep. In spite of the fact that it is rubber, I am wearing it because of the value it is adding to my life. So any client that comes and you add value to that client, he will not leave you. He will hold on to you the same way I'm holding on to this watch. Any relationship you are in that you're adding value to that relationship, that person will not leave you. Anywhere you are adding value, they will not leave you. Be it in the church, be it in the town union, wherever, in your neighborhood, once you are adding value wherever you are, it will be difficult. And the value you are adding over a period of time, you can begin to monetize it. you can begin to do what? Monetize it. The poor man is the man that hasn't identified the value in him. I'm using that value to fill the needs. That's why the man whose husband went and borrowed money and the creditor came to carry the 2 sons, ran to the prophet Elisha. Elisha said, what do you have? He said, I don't have anything but a jar of oil. Elisha said, it is enough. Everybody has something. It's your responsibility to identify it. And once you identify it, begin to use it to add value. Over a period of time, that thing in you can feed nations. That's why in Isaiah 60:22, it says that the little one shall become 1,000, and the small one a great nation. But it entails beyond seeing, observing, and then doing the work. This organization, the sky is just the beginning. In your lives as the individuals, the sky is just the beginning. So what am I telling you this morning? Rise up. Rise up from the slumber. Isaiah 60 verse 1 says, arise and shine, for your light has come. Rise up. Rise up. You lie down and you sleep for 8 hours. You just waka, they waka. All of you be waka pass. Every man here is a main actor in a particular area. Rise up, take up your role and begin to do it. Rise up. Rise up. So that's what I'm saying. Because we have the Spirit of God in us, He'll be giving us insight. I've told you people many years ago, I was walking from Oshodi to Ikorodu Road. As I was passing the office of one of my townsmen, a lawyer, a thought entered my heart. Why don't you go and see Matthew Ojielo? I said, but this man is a lawyer. I have produced letter-headed paper for him, business card. He told me that they don't do much things. I walked a little. He said, why don't you go and see him? I said, where I usually they go. He said, but you have nothing to lose by going to see him. I turned back and I went to the office. In the discussion, he said, some of my friends are floating an airline and they are going to need your services. He brought out his business card, wrote a small note, said, go and give it to Chuks Ejiofor. That was how I began to work for Zenith Air in the 90s. Not once, not twice, not thrice. Opportunities are bound, but you need to engage that man on the inside. That's why Jesus was telling them it is expedient, it is important, it is practical. It will be, you will be more efficient if I waka and the comforter comes. He will stay inside you, he will be giving you direction on what to do. So gentlemen, we are not victims. We know they talk say government do this or no do that. Because inside us, the Bible says, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. What it means is that any challenge that life throws at me, the capacity to handle it, stay inside me. So we know the shake. We know the shake. So that's it for this week. Gentlemen, just rise up. Whatever you do, begin to engage your mind. Begin to pray. And God will begin to give you direction. God bless you all and have a wonderful week.